Bluff City NIL is an official partner with Coaching for Literacy, a nonprofit organization using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. You can read more about them at coachingforliteracy.org or at Coaching for Literacy on social media platforms. Your donations to Bluff City NIL are 100% tax deductible because of our partnership together, so we thank you for supporting Memphis Tigers student athletes and helping promote the monumental cause that is childhood literacy.
Devin Booker's got a shoe coming out. Bro, that shoe is horrible. It looks like some kind of fake Blazer / Air Force One. Then it's like a weird-looking nubuck with some cheap-looking clear sole on the bottom. The font on the tongue looks terrible.
No way, man.
Like, no way he's shooting ball in those.
No way, man.
The fact that we haven't seen anybody from Nike or Devin's camp come out and say that's not real is stunning
That
to
shit
me.
real.
It's got to be.
No way, bro.
But it can't be real.
Those jaws are nasty. Don't even like you're supposed to be playing ball in them.
No.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
What up? Welcome back to Tigers Untapped, brought to you by Hoop City Basketball. They got summer camps going on. I think the last opportunity is next week, July 31st through August 3rd. Got a little boy or girl age 5 to 14. They'll have a camp all next week. Get them signed up. You go to bluffcity.co/hoopcity. $95 off registration fee. So you get signed up. DJ,
What's going on, man?
how goes it, my friend?
Just another day in paradise. Can't care.
Wow. The paradise of East Memphis over
Yes.
there. What are we sipping on this eve?
This is Memphis made.
This looks like my water out of the faucet. by the way.
Memphis truck.
Diesel water.
That is
Out there in Germantown.
truck with a T. I'll tell you what, the one thing I didn't think about is this is a stout brewed with French truck coffee.
I'm
I'm wearing a white shirt, so I got to be real careful.
Yeah, you got a barbecue stain on the white T-shirt.
Okay.
I am not.
Trey, your face when you first took the first sip was not...
I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to drink a whole lot of water the last 4 or 5 days. I imagine this is what my diesel water in Germantown tastes like. I'm not a huge coffee person, especially when it's infused into my beer.
This guy's just giving away his rating already.
But we'll get through it. It's also not ice cold either,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
which is the downfall of us taking so long to get started.
No, there it is. That quickly. Unbelievable.
We're not even 90 seconds in, and TJ's got a stain.
It's okay. My wife will get it. She's got my back.
Let's zoom in. Let's see it. Let's see that. Let me... Right there.
It's not a lot. It's really not
You know what that reminds me of? If you're listening, you haven't seen this, you need to go look. Oh gosh, what year? It's got to be mid 2000s. The Tide pen stain commercial. Guy's in an interview for a job, and he's got a coffee stain on his white button down. Hardest I've ever laughed at a commercial because he gets asked questions in an interview, obviously, right? And he's trying to answer. The whole time, the stain is just screaming over him while he's trying to answer. It's a great commercial. Go look it up.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Really, I have to check it out.
Trey, what's on the docket today, my
Well,
dude?
before y'all get started, Trey...
Just kidding.
Before y'all get started, Trey, we've been sitting here for a good 45 minutes, getting started, getting planned, everything, getting ready. So we have the best show possible for everybody. TJ hasn't sneezed once. Immediately.
It's
When the lights go on.
Is it
We
when-
talked about this last week when we were recording from home because since we've been in studios, neither one of us has started coughing or anything. Immediately last week. I don't know what it is.
I was coughing a couple weeks ago.
Maybe
I was
there's
coming off
mold.
bronchitis.
We may have mold in our houses or something.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure I don't have mold.
Well,
It was something
I don't know
about
what
the
it is.
lights, maybe.
for the sneeze?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Look that up. We're gonna need some science on that.
I mean, I know when you feel a sneeze coming on, people say to look up
I was
at
trying
a
to
light.
pinch it back. It did not work.
That's all right. I mean, there's snot everywhere, but it's fine.
Purple elephants is what I've heard you're supposed to say.
To stop yourself from sneezing?
Yeah.
I
I just
don't
didn't
know
want to be
why.
like,
I don't-
purple elephants, purple elephants, purple. Over here, and you guys start freaking out that I'm having some type of exorcism.
I mean, just let it go. I mean, sneezing is normal. People sneeze. We don't know why. I know we do. I'm thinking of yawning. We don't know what yawns are for. Anyways, on the docket, we got, there's been some rumors floating around about the I always want to say falafel.
It's not right.
I know.
It's not right
Falafel
at all.
Lenard. I'm calling him falafel. Teafale Lenard. He basically confirmed it. He went out on his Instagram live and pretty much said he's not going to end up at Memphis.
Yeah, you called it a rumor. I don't think it's a rumor. I think it's
Well, until he officially announces,
Yeah.
I guess. He's definitely not here. We've talked about it, that being concerning as a first-time transfer. So he's not finishing classes. He doesn't have anything holding him up. Why hadn't he been here?
yeah. No, that's a great point. I think that him coming out and saying something is not necessarily ideal, but it definitely kind of eases the mind of why he's not here. Like you kind of understand why he's not here. It sounds like he's just not going to come, regardless. So.
And there's been a couple of different speculations out there of maybe it's a grades issue, or I don't know that that's accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, possibly if you think he was thinking he was maybe going to the NBL or something, maybe he did stop after basketball season going to class or something. But I think it may have been the staff moving on.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I mean, once for me personally, I don't know how you felt about it, but the moment you grabbed David Jones, it was kind of like, okay, these guys kind of do the same thing. So someone's going to have to come off the bench. I mean, obviously they don't do the same thing. Like Jones is much
think
more offensively
first,
based. Yeah.
right? Falafel is more defensive.
Yeah, but kind of the same position type of situation. I don't think you're putting Leonard in.
I
at
mean,
the
for
two,
sure,
but
they're not both starting.
yeah, that was kind of where I was going with that. Like someone was going to have to come off the bench, and I don't think they sold Leonard to come here and come off the bench. So I could be wrong on that.
I don't know that they were sold on maybe potentially what NIL was discussed for somebody that was going to end up being a bench guy or coming off the bench.
You know, the University of Memphis has no participation with NIL, you know, so that was a side conversation that was being had, you know?
Yeah, guys. But you think this is any indication of how the staff feels about DeAndre's waiver potentially?
Yeah, I think it has to play a part.
Maybe
in it, right?
reallocating some of those funds.
There's that's obviously a part of it, reallocating minutes. I just think if you feel very strongly that DeAndre's coming back, you're going to get Brown cleared. You kind of needed a spot open in a sense. And if you think that Leonard is going to play anywhere between 3 and 4 position wise, I think they would obviously much rather have DeAndre on the roster. DeAndre plus blank, whatever they end up doing with that extra scholarship, than they would having Teafale. What's it? Why do I struggle with this? Falafel.
I mean, it's not an easy name.
I think you got in my head with it personally when you said the falafel thing. Now I keep thinking falafel.
And by the way, speaking of falafel,
It's incredible.
I know. Have you ever had the dill pickle falafels?
No.
Okay. Trader Joe's. It's a great snack. Air fry them up. A little ranch. It's good
Not
stuff.
for me, man.
Interesting.
So I think the DeAndre thing played a part in it. I'm assuming you're probably right there with me.
I would say, yeah. I don't think you let TFL go if you don't have a very strong,
Yeah.
encouraging feeling that DeAndre is going to be here.
Well, I mean, the NCAA did message him and tell him he is eligible with one more year. So I'd feel pretty strongly about that myself.
I mean, I would too. And, you know, all that to say, they're also not, they're not done. DeAndre or not, recruiting doesn't stop till school starts. And even then,
I mean,
some would say recruiting continues in handshake lines. And
Well, we know for a fact, I think it was up to the first day of class last year. We thought we had a 3-point sharpshooter in Emmanuel Acott until the 11th hour.
We didn't get quite that far. I think it was like June.
No.
Yeah.
Kenny, was it not further along? I swear it was further along than that.
I don't think we got
It seems Googleable.
I don't think we got up to class.
I want to say it was like August, the first week of August.
I know he was here. He was working out at the facility, but not with the team.
He was here, but was he ever with the team?
No, he was not working out with the team. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see what date it was.
Yeah, we're both looking it up.
I'm
This is great
looking.
podcasting right here, where you watch two dudes Google stuff. Anyway, I agree with you that the recruiting never stops. You always want to make your roster better if you have that
August
option.
22nd.
Yeah, I knew it was like class time.
Really? I did
It
not
was
remember
super,
it being
super
that
late.
late.
Freaking slick, Rick. Now he's on our side. What's up, boy?
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness. He may have gone to morning class and then was like, you know what? I'm out of here.
When I close my eyes and like try to envision that moment, I think Slick Rick is on the UC lawn with a helicopter. Just a big like Slick Rick decal on the side.
I think
of
we
it.
would have seen that, though.
I wasn't there.
Somebody surely would have had a photograph.
I can't call it. That's how I picture it, man.
Well, the good news is we've got Slick Rick on our side.
True.
We got weeks until class starts. Like Labor Day, September sometime.
Yeah, it's about that time.
You know what time it is, though?
Oh, I think it's about sausage time.
It's about sausage 30.
time.
We're currently sitting at 37th. No update because we hadn't any roster movement. You take away falafel, drops you to 41.
Don't love it.
Don't love it. But in the grand scheme of things, we already said it likely coming off the bench. Are you really? I mean, how do you feel about Leonard potentially not being here? Well, we know he's probably not coming.
Yeah, I mean,
Does it hurt that much?
it's not great. I mean, he was what? I think they said the top 5 or number 6 defender in the transfer portal, whatever that stat was. I mean, that is
Yeah.
something to consider. He is a good defender. I don't think we have anyone else on the roster right now that is
I would say probably elite level defender.
Yeah, that is
in athleticism.
exactly. No one is a primary elite defender. Can guard multiple positions like that. No one is. I think Leonard would have been incredible in transitions for Penny, just because you got to have someone who gets down the floor very quickly, long, athletic guy. I think he fit that mold perfectly.
Yeah.
But there's some trade off there because you get David Jones, who's a little bit more offensively skilled, maybe not the defender, but that's someone who's kind of like a point forward because maybe some questions on how the secondary ball handler is going to come out. I don't know who you end up choosing, who ends up being here. I don't know. But in the worst case scenario, we've seen it with DeAndre. You could have David Jones technically play some point forward. If Quinterly gets hurt, he slows down. They're trying to give he and Mills some time off, whatever. I like what Jones brings to the table. And I think I would take his offensive upside over the extremely one-sided aspect of
Leonard.
Because you're going to get some defense with Jones. You're not going to get.
Sure. I think it's all on a defensive standpoint. If you're wanting to get back to like that Ken Palm most efficient defensive rating,
Yeah.
like you need a guy like Leonard.
Sure.
So from that aspect, it definitely hurts because I mean, Mills, Jones, they've been kind of meh defensively within college.
Sure.
But it's also like, does Penny get them to that next level? Is it the difference of playing for Penny Hardaway is what takes your defense to the next level?
Yeah. I think it's so hard to grade this now until we find out what they do with that next scholarship. Because if you're able to bring in, for me, I think the next position I would consider maybe another shooting guard, maybe someone who's just more of like a shooter in general. Because when I think of the roster, the way it is made up right now, you have Quinterly, you have Mills, Those are kind of your backcourt, the presumed backcourt that's going to start, and then your backups, whatever you think at point guard. If it's going to be Young, if Mikey comes, and then your secondary, your backup at shooting guard is Jaden, I guess. And like that's it. But like, and then you start getting to a situation of, well, if Jaden is going to be there, I know there's not like line changes, right? You're not going to have first string out, second string in. This isn't hockey kind of situation. But there's some, it's a little thin there for me because I don't necessarily trust freshmen to be much for contributors. I just don't. It doesn't. There was a stat last year where there was like 2 in like the top 100 contributors or something.
In the
like
day
that.
and age of the transfer portal, freshman contributing is not totally gone, but it's rare.
So for me, I would prioritize shooting guard. I think you may differ on what position they would probably look at next on bringing someone in.
I mean, I think a lot of those guys are interchangeable. I think maybe a big just as a backup. But at this point in time, it's like, who are you going to be able to go out there and get and say, hey, I know we got Jordan Brown, who played, we talked about it last week, 32 minutes a game. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at 8 to 12 minutes probably for somebody, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting Penny. I'm sure that there is something out there in the works.
Dude, find me some big Russian dude. I don't know. I'm just thinking of someone random. There's always that one guy who's out there playing for some super small school.
Russia been putting out a lot of bigs?
Maybe. I don't know. But like, go look at Stetson's roster or something random. Some school that's random like that. They're going to have some 6'11" dude who pulls in 13 rebounds a game or something wild like that.
Get a board getter.
Just go grab you a big that can just pull in some boards, because that's kind of been the one thing that I think that we have really been lacking with. It's just a big who solely focuses on just grabbing boards and second chance points. So like you had it with DeAndre, he was a decent rebounder, but it kind of at times felt like he was the only one really rebounding. And then you kind of get him playing far away from the basket if he's playing the 4. So like Brown can rebound, so I feel better about that. But if either one of those dudes is off the court, I'm like, it's a total toss up for me. Because I think Jourdain is kind of an undersized 5. I mean, I guess you could put Pierre there. The rumor has it he's 7'7" now. So he just keeps growing every day. So I don't know what you do there. So you could convince me of center for sure. I think that would be a perfect use of another scholarship. But I couldn't sit here to begin telling you who's out there. Alexis Yetna, is he still out there? What's that dude up to?
Stinson does have Mohamedou Diawara, who's a 6'10", 250 senior center.
There's always some rando that's gigantic.
From Mali. I wouldn't hate it.
I just made up a school. By the
I know.
way. That is not in any type of way a hint of who we're going after with the last college.
I mean, it wasn't a bad idea.
Oh, Alexis Yetna still sitting out there. So
I don't know how he's still in college.
He is class of 20. He was like an ALOS class, I think.
Wow. TJ. You don't know what Diawara's high. I'm not even kidding. This is not a joke. This is factual.
I just made up numbers.
It doesn't matter. Give me a guess of his career high in rebounds.
Probably the exact opposite direction, too.
Times 10. TJ had 20 this year against Wisconsin, Milwaukee. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, I was just making up somebody.
March 19th, 2023.
What are you going to do?
20 boards.
Anyway, you get my point.
He had a big night. He had a career night on March 9th. Is this the only game he's ever played? He had 18 points, 20 boards, shot 11 free throws, made 8 of them, 5 of 10 from the field, 30 minutes played.
What's this guy's name?
All against Wisconsin.
I'm about to shoot
Milwaukee.
Penny an email.
Number 15,
Go after
Mahama
this guy.
Mamadou.
Mamadou?
I don't know if that's even right. Mahamadou.
All right. We're so far off your rocker, but you get my point.
He's a grad transfer. Get him here.
You find a big out there that's just is like, know what?
We got a good business school over in Fogelman.
Give me 15 minutes a game, whatever the backup big would get. I'm just going to come in and just pull in rebounds, and I'm going to make a tournament
If this
run
ends
with
up
you
happening
guys.
with Diawara, we're buying lottery tickets. The fact that you just threw out Stetson and the Hatters, and they got a 20 board a night kind of guy.
My nationality was off. I went with Russian, whatever.
Molly's close.
All right. what do we have? What's today? Today is the 24th. So we're like T-minus a week.
We're a week as of yesterday. This will come out Wednesday. So Tuesday, yesterday, the Tigs will be down in the Dominican facing none other than former Tiger himself, Booty Shorts Lester Quinones.
Who else? What's the other guy's name?
Quistarte. Duarte.
I mean, half of our time trying to get ready to do the show is trying to help Trey with pronunciations of names. It's hilarious.
Look,
It's a tough one.
I'm not good with names.
I was big on Duarte to the Grizz. That's the only reason I had to pronounce his name. But heading to the Dominican.
Are we about to get smoked? We've got 7 guys on campus.
I think this is it 7? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How dare you? We have 8 guys.
Okay,
6, 7.
what a
Yeah, we got
8.
8 guys. So we're still waiting on Brown, Jones, Quinterly, and
Young.
to show up.
Mikey.
We'll talk about that here in a second.
Well, at the time of this recording, Quinterly is here.
That's nice.
Is
That makes
he?
me feel a little bit better.
Breaking news. So we got 9. I feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So I definitely feel a little bit better. I mean, you're there. You play what, 2, 3 games?
Yeah, you play 3 games. You got the Dominican national team on 8-2, so that Wednesday, which that will be the Lester Duarte game.
It's good.
Then you play the Dominican select team on the 4th and the 6th, which I don't know who will be on the select team, but I would say that's probably lesser competition.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that works because we actually in the Discord we just had a conversation of like this year's Tigers team, proposed Tigers team versus the Memphis Hustle and who would win. You only have 2 players
This was
from the NBA that are going to be on that national team, and I bet it's going to be relatively competitive. And I understand it's not the full team, but we're
see.
talking about 2 halfway composed rosters.
The proposed question was also including DeAndre, everybody here, and the Hustle without any two-way guys, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
I don't even know
still
who
taking the
else is.
Hustle.
I don't even know who else is on the Hustle.
The Duke guy.
I mean, the Tigers
Matthew
are
Hurt.
probably older than the Hustle.
Yeah, I think they are. I think we actually looked into.
I mean, we would just grown man them all day.
They are grown men too. The Kenny, will you help me out?
Listen.
The Hustle would win.
Dude, sure.
They literally just play basketball all day.
That's not a question, man. Like, it's not a legit question. Anthony Sane did that in the Discord, and it about pissed me off because you had...
He knew what he was doing.
he knew exactly what he was doing.
Damn you, Anthony!
You don't think that there's any? How many of the Tigers you think could make a G League team?
3?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think the freshman. It's so hard to determine. I mean, Pierre, we don't know what he's going to become yet. I think if you had to make me list it right now, Quinterly already tried, didn't he? And that's why he ended up coming back because he didn't really have a shot out there. I think Mills could make it.
It's really the question
Brown and DeAndre.
is, how many guys on the Tigers team could get a two-way contract right now?
No, it's minus two-way guys.
But that's what I'm saying. We're ramping it up even a little bit more for them, like giving them more of an opportunity. It's not just making the hustle; it's guys that can have a chance to play in the NBA. And I just don't think there's. I think there's a few, maybe. I mean, it's not many. They're older guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem, right?
All right, so let's get it back on track here. So you're going to be headed to the Dominican. As of right now, you've got Quinterly, you've got Caleb, Jaden, Carl, JJ, Jourdain, Pierre, Ashton, and Little Slick himself, Noah Stansberry.
What? Just answer me this. What is the freak out scale 1 to 10 if we come out and lose on August 2nd to the Dominican national team?
Oh, I mean,
Does not matter what the roster is or who's there.
I think it would.
I think it reminds me of when did we go to Canada with Pastner and got just smoked by one of those?
I don't remember that.
That
To
happened.
Canada?
Yeah, we
They
took
play basketball.
I know that was the problem. We went up there and
I-
played some like Canadian prep school.
No, because it's one of those things. Penny's literally taking those guys up there and just trying some weird stuff.
Down there. But yeah.
Correct. I had Cannon on my brain. I think you're going to get some weird stuff. Like you're going to get heavy run of the young guys. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do there is get your young guys as much run as possible.
I think it will be by far much more competitive than the Bahamas trip when we had like Bahamas postal workers showing up still in uniform and changing on the sidelines.
Shout out to that guy on Facebook who was like filming that
Live
the
streaming.
entire-
Can we get that? If you're going back, I don't
My
remember
gosh.
who you are. If you're going back, can we get that again? That hookup on Facebook?
I think it was actually an iPad he had, but
Whatever it was.
yeah, this is the
worked.
Dominican is not going to be televised, I believe.
No. I mean, there's no official streaming. We're
Yeah,
gonna
you
need,
say that.
We're gonna need a Facebook Live sitch again.
Yeah, they're gonna have to bring it in. It's
Kenny, why don't we get a BCM crew down there?
Hey, man, if we can find somebody to pay our way, let's do it.
Fly us down there. We'll see what happens. I'll take the hit for the team. Don't worry. I'll go to the Dominican.
Flights this late. to
I can
the-
make something happen quick.
So no, you Quinterly, Caleb, JJ, Carl, Jaden, Jourdain, Pierre, Ashton, and Noah Stansberry. So you're rolling up with. It's an interesting group of people. You don't have a true big man necessarily. Like Jourdain's there. I think he's 6'8", kind of a small ball 5. That's probably big for what you're playing against. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the whole Dominican national team roster is looking like these days.
it's going to be an interesting makeup. So I don't win or lose. I'm not sure you're really learning much. It's really just trying to get a lot of these guys
I mean, I think he
a little
said
bit
it.
more
It's
experience.
and it's bonding opportunity.
Sure.
So then, is that concerning that some of those guys aren't going to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's not. No, I take it back because you have plenty of time between now and was it Lemoyne Owen? Is that the first one? CBHU or CB?
Yeah, whatever. I
Whatever.
don't remember.
You know
the
what I'm
first exhibition.
You've got a good enough time between now and then that I think that you're going to have enough run for these guys to get to know each other. But obviously, the sooner the better. I would love for it be a full roster going down there because you would have a general idea of what you look like when you win 105 to 45 or you lose 76 to 60. You know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, you get my point. I think you would definitely have a better idea of where you stand in terms of just raw talent before Penny has put his little penny touch on things. Because you and I are big proponents of continuity and having those types of guys come back and really kind of being the coach on the court kind of situation when Penny can't be there in those moments.
Yeah.
And I could read back that list of names to you, but there's only one name that we're really familiar with, and that's Jaden, right? None of the other guys are that familiar. They've been here for maybe a month or so now, so they really don't have it kind of embedded into their mind just yet. So it'd be nice to have them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not necessarily sure that it's a do or die type of situation. You know?
Oh, I don't think so at all. But I do think that if we go out there and we lose that first game, there's going to be some
Hey, the app
Twitter freak out.
No, X freakouts.
X.
It's going to be X freak out. There will be some freakouts. People will lose their minds.
I mean, against that national team, you're talking about two guys on that team. I don't care who else is on the team. You're talking about two legitimate NBA players in Lester Quinones and Chris Duarte. Like, they probably are. The Tigers are probably going to lose that game. Is what I would suspect.
Hey, if Penny knows anything, is how to shut down Lester. I'll give you this, both of you, Kenny and TJ, answer this. Lester Quinones points over under 26.5.
Over.
Wow. Okay.
Over. He's going to be raining from half court.
Actually, I may take the under because he should pack it up and not even risk the damn game. I wouldn't even play if I were.
Yeah. Why?
Over under 5 made threes from Lester.
Over.
Probably over, yeah.
Yeah.
TJ's taking the over on 5 made threes, but the under on 26 points.
No, I was saying I should have taken the under because I don't think he should play. But yeah, I think Duarte is like an actual
He's a legit
NBA rotational player for the Pacers.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like this dude has played
I know. I'm not.
borderline 80 games already.
I'm telling you, I think that
And he came into the league at like 27. He was Oregon's DeAndre.
You probably lose next Wednesday, and I'm just telling you, people are going to freak out. This is a great segue because there was a freak out on Twitter about the Bill Street Boys losing. And half that damn team wasn't even former Memphis players.
I don't know who's
I will
in
say
charge
this.
of the
I
Bill
couldn't
Street
decide
stuff.
if it was awesome or if it was funny as hell that Wichita, Kansas cared that much about a damn basketball tournament of a bunch of old dudes.
It's the second year in a row that has been the narrative about that Aftershocks team. Like,
Yeah.
they have the game in Wichita, Kansas.
I mean, that arena had more
Packed.
people in it than when we played Wichita State, I feel like.
There's not much to do in Wichita, guys. Like, I mean,
Is there
doesn't-
not?
This doesn't shock me too much.
I've never been, but I literally couldn't decide if it was impressive
This
or laughable.
team, this city loves their team. Bro, they don't show up to Wichita State games.
I mean, they do and they're good. But to watch a bunch of 30 to 35-year-olds, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Camp looks 35 or older.
Is he even at Wichita? For some reason, I thought he was at Indiana or
No, I think he played at
Iowa?
Kansas and Wichita, didn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe that's wrong.
I'm probably thinking of the wrong guy. I tried to just pull up this roster and I can't find it now. I think they just completely shut it down real quick.
Roster for who?
The Bill Street Boys. It's just a real weird roster.
They've already deleted. Yeah, Frank Camp played for Kansas and Wichita State.
Is that who it was?
Big Kansas guy.
I just thought it was a weird, like an
He's
oddly
only-
composed
he's only
roster.
28. He's only 28.
Yeah, that's not great. I just thought it was an oddly composed roster, personally.
It was strange.
I don't know who's in charge of that. Like, I don't know who's like the team captain type of situation and who
Willie
puts it-
Kemp is the head coach.
Billy
GM.
Kemp.
They call him GMs, Kenny.
Yeah, I looked at the roster and thought it was super strange from the get go. But like, whatever.
Look,
I don't know.
I can't. It made me mad. I don't know why I turned it on. I guess because there's nothing else to do.
Sure.
I tweeted back at Parrish because he said something about it laughing, and I'm like, why am I watching this? And he said, because we're bored. And I was like, yeah, now I'm bored and pissed off. I mean, they were up 21 with a couple minutes left in the third
goodness.
and lost. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Do you like the Elam ending stuff?
yeah, I think that's fun.
I think it's fun for stuff like that, but
Well,
I don't think it has a place in real competitive basketball.
Someone that will go unmentioned or unnamed in this tweeted out that the Elam ending should be adopted. This is their tweet. Adopted in the NBA for fourth quarters and overtimes. And I'm like, the Elam ending means there would be no overtime,
Yeah.
homie.
I don't think that's how that works, my guy.
Could
you imagine-
I think they were just saying if you go to overtime, it ends up being Elam.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the NBA tried to adopt the Elam ending into the ending of their games?
I don't look.
I appreciate the Elam ending. I hate the hack a shack. I hate that whole part of the game.
I do. Yes,
It slows it down. I'm trying to
but
leave.
think of March Madness and the whole thrill behind a buzzer beater is that they don't happen every single game.
Sure.
If every level of basketball moved to Elam ending, where every game was ended on a shot, a game-winning shot,
Yeah.
I mean that takes away a lot of the excitement behind it, right? I mean, it's fun for little tournaments like that. It's a little tournament. I guess $1 million to the winning team in a little tournament, but
So you could do it with like the in-season tournament that the NBA is doing, then do Elam ending or whatever.
just like as a fun,
Just as for
They
funsies,
did it
yeah.
in the All-Star game. That's fun too.
Yeah,
Like
I
stuff
like it
That's fine.
because I think again it gets away from the fouling situation.
Yeah.
So it makes the end of the game more fun. But whatever, no one's going to actually adopt that as
Yeah.
like a full, actual functioning end to a game. Unfortunately,
Sure.
it could though. It'd be pretty dope. The roster was weird. TBT. That's my end of my story on that. It's a weird roster.
It was. I mean, what you had Taggart, Will Coleman, Jeremiah, Adonis, who is thick,
Yeah,
but can still ball. Like you, I
he
mean,
is a big guy. He was kind of big here though. I mean, he was always kind of like, kind of got hair on me.
yeah, he was a built dude, but now he's just like,
Yeah, he's big. He's a big guy.
He still hooped though.
Hyman was on the team, not even a Tiger.
Yeah, I was just going Tigers. Jeremiah Martin, Adonis, Taggart, Chris Crawford, Will.
Yeah.
I just think, you know what we should have? We need Joey out there.
I think because
Alo,
he's
who was
on
a no-show.
staff.
I don't know what
Alo,
that was.
I'm assuming
They kept
Alo's
listing
ankle
him
is still hurt.
as a key player, and my dude wasn't even in Wichita. I don't know who gave ESPN their notes.
It's a different timeline, and I don't think that this player connects to those players that were on the TBT team. But like the first 48 is definitely someone I would call just for shits and giggles, because when Tyler gets hot, we know how fun Tyler can be.
He would light up the TBT.
I think he would be pretty good for TBT. I think Tyler would be someone they should call. Hear
Hot
me
take,
out,
they
Will.
wouldn't have lost the other
Hear me
night
out.
if they'd had Tyler.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys from Memphis I think that they could probably put on that roster, but I don't know if they're wanting to go. Well, I guess they don't want to go just specifically Tigers if they had Hyman on there, but
I mean, I think that they call him the Memphis alumni. I think the hope is to try to get
Yeah.
all alumni, but
I'm
at the end of the day,
assuming
you're
some
just taking Memphis dudes.
dudes just have life, right? You got jobs, you've got kids, you've got
As
a
we all
wife.
do.
Yeah, right. Whatever. That's probably why the roster was kind of the way it was.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Like, is Taggart still Carville's coach?
Yeah.
Like, he's got stuff he's got to be doing right now.
Not in the summer. It's a dead period for TSSAA.
Psh, they're running ladders, dude.
Go get you your 80K next year, I guess, since you're knocked out now. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll touch on AAC Media Days started were yesterday, now that this is coming on Wednesday. Look at that. A couple of predictions, maybe. Take a look at some all-conference team.
Yeah.
Some more Memphis football news, and then we'll close it out.
Deal.
Come back.
Devin Booker's got a shoe coming out. Bro, that shoe is horrible. It looks like some kind of fake Blazer / Air Force One. Then it's like a weird looking nubuck with some cheap looking clear sole on the bottom. The font on the tongue looks terrible.
No way, man.
Like, no way he's shooting ball in those.
No way, man. The fact that we haven't seen anybody from Nike or Devin's camp come out and say that's not real is stunning
That
to
shit
me.
real.
It's got to be.
No way, bro.
But it can't be real.
Those jaws are nasty. Don't even like you're supposed to be playing ball in them.
No, man.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What up? We back. Tej. Well, when this episode comes out, AAC Media Days will have happened yesterday.
Correct.
But as the filming of this episode is occurring, they have yet to happen. The Tigers are there. Coach Ryan Silverfield took junior quarterback Seth Hennigan, offensive lineman Jacob Likes, defensive lineman Jalen Allen, and DB safety Simeon Blair.
That's a hell of a group of 4 guys to take to your media day.
Four. I don't think that's normal. I feel like I saw every other school took like 2. One offensive guy, one defensive guy.
I think 4 is probably the max I've ever seen, yeah.
They took a nice little PJ, little private jet, Wilson Air. You
Yeah, did y'all see
picture?
that video? The video is cool, man.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
People are going to love Jalen Allen at the media day, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
an
great-
easy guy to like. I think we obviously always like Jalen Allen, but that little video, the thing you did with them a couple months back, like the
Day in the life. We got to do more
day
of
in
those.
the life. If you can
Kenneth.
get back to that, Kenny, that was fun, man.
They
Get
won't
back
do
to
it.
that.
They won't do it in fall camp. But what if we could do a day in the life, and me and TJ got to be Tiger football player, like go through a full day, like workouts and
wanna do
everything.
that.
Guys,
I don't want to do that.
this is something that has been pitched. I just
would've
want
done
y'all to know that.
I would have done it.
have-
I'm talking full practice, everything. Mic us up.
I want to see. I want to see TJ's 40 time. I want to see your 40 time.
What do you think it's going to be?
We could have a little.
Probably quicker than a 4.7.
It could be
is
like
what I
a.
would think.
It could be like a
That can be fast.
BCM Hard Knocks episode with TJ and I out there practicing.
I want to see TJ line up across from Jacob Likes and try to get to that cone in the back.
How tall is
Kenny, set it up.
Jacob
I'll
Likes?
do it.
6'4".
Yeah, so he's got some height on me. We're probably the same width, the same girth.
I thought you were gonna say weight.
No, he's definitely got the weight on.
Yeah,
He's got,
I mean,
40, 50 pounds on me.
I feel like we need to get you and Gabe going first.
yeah, but you got the low center of gravity.
You do have a low center of gravity. I feel like
who's
you
going to
get-
win between me and Gabe? We need to know that answer.
Well, I think you should.
That's not anything I need to
practice.
prove.
Oh, are you saying you'd beat Gabe?
Oh, without a question. Without question. I like to jab Gabe. It's fun. No, I think you need to get back to the day in the life stuff. That's fun stuff. Maybe do like an offensive player this time around.
Hey, man.
Follow Jacob. See what Jacob or Jonah or Davian. Who else we got on the offensive line? Davian. Just follow these offensive linemen. See what they're
Chris
eating throughout
Morris.
the day.
Well.
Not gonna do that one. I don't think you're gonna get that one done. Don't.
Can I give y'all a quick? Oh my God, I can't believe I say this out loud. Y'all know I did his I did a video following him a day in the life of his the day he signed to play for Memphis. It is ready to come out. I was gonna put it out before the season started.
I wouldn't put it out there now. I'd probably
can go ahead and delete that.
I'd probably package that one up, put it away, Kenneth.
Why don't we redo it?
It was so cool too, man. Chris was
Yeah,
awesome.
I like those videos.
Yeah, I think you should do a day in the life of one of those guys. I mean, it actually may be more fun. I don't know if it's gonna be more fun to do like a new guy
Yeah.
or like
Do a player, and if you could do like a guy on staff, a coach would be cool too.
yeah, like I think you could do maybe even like a freshman. I think would be fun because it's kind of like you get to see what it's like to go from high school.
I'm not kidding. I would do this if I will take a day off of work to go and be a player for a day.
Like I saw Pros vs. Joes. Do y'all remember that show, Pros vs. Joes?
Absolutely.
I know for a fact it rarely ever works out for the Joe. So I want you to go through these workouts.
Not saying it would work out. There's nothing that could work out.
Trey, what do you think? What is one skill that you have that you think you could possibly do well in on the field against the Memphis Tigers?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could you catch a ball across? Like if Seth was throwing you a ball, could you get open and catch a ball?
Yeah. I think you could.
Like on a one-on-one drill?
Yeah.
7v7? Yeah, I think you could get
Or
open.
7v7.
I mean, if it was a full field, I could probably find an open spot somewhere. But I don't know that I'm catching something like just one-on-one straight up with Greg Rubin or anybody. Like,
No, you have some serious height advantage there. I think that's one you could win.
you think I could moss?
You think
Greg
he could
Rubin?
moss Greg Rubin?
Probably.
Crazy.
Out of how many attempts?
I have the ability to catch a football. I think pretty
He's
good, but like
6'3", 220 or 215, whatever you are. Like, there's some serious size
yeah,
advantage.
but he's gonna be on me like white on rice.
That's
TJ.
fine as long as Seth likes to throw
Puts
it
it
a
in the
little
right
bit
spot.
high.
Seth can dot it up a little bit.
I can't jump quite as high as I used to, but
I'm gonna take your 28-inch vertical and 6'3" frame over Rubin.
Whoa. Man.
TJ's got a lot of confidence.
Dude, yeah.
I want to amp up Trey because I want him to get out there.
What if he went up against
Super
Malik?
confident.
What if he
I
went
also
up
don't-
against Malik Feaster?
Out of 1 out of 10 times, like
Could he get one catch?
I
and
don't know
10
that I
balls?
could do 10 reps. Are you serious?
No, and I mean, yeah, I think he could catch a ball.
In pad, it's going to be 99 next week in pads. I run once a week. It's off season. I'm not even playing soccer anymore. I legitimately don't think I could do 10 reps one-on-one.
Look, I think you got a shot.
The problem is that as we get older, you take a week off, you lose.
1,000% I would get hurt.
You lose
Oh, for sure.
every bit of athletic
I stopped playing volleyball a week ago and almost fell over my feet just a few minutes ago before the show
Oh,
started.
Kenny kicked over all the cameras and lights in the studio. It was unbelievable.
I was twinkle toes about a week ago.
We
on
almost
the
had to
volleyball
cancel
court.
the recording this evening because
Y'all
the
should've
studio was a wreck.
Y'all should have seen me at the net in volleyball out in Collierville.
I would have spiked it so hard.
Bro, I was crushing it. A week later, I go to the beach for a week and I come back and I can't even walk.
Yeah, that'll do
We
that.
are so far off topic right
That'll
now.
do that to anybody.
All of that to say,
TJ, can you reach out to somebody? Let's get me out there.
I'm so down for this. I will make it happen.
All right.
I'm gonna reach out to that equipment guy, and for my new profile picture, just strike me up. Put me in the helmet with the neon lights, like I'm Baby Gronk.
Lightsabers.
We got to get you in that. I'm going to call Brad Pope and see if we can get
Please
you
do.
in their new little 360 room that they have where they have all the lights and stuff.
The
See if
recruiting
we
room?
can- oh my God. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, it's nice.
We got to get some like promo shots of you guys in a Tiger helmet, pads,
I already
everything.
have. I'll bring my own Tiger helmets, baby.
Yeah, TJ makes them. I had one, but I gifted it to a small child for Christmas.
Your child?
No,
No.
not mine.
All my hard
friend
work
of
was
ours.
just given away. We're so far off
Just
topic.
giving
dude.
away. It was for the
Come
kids. I'm
on.
making future Tiger fans.
We are here, AAC Media Day. Trey, if you had to guess literally right now, rank out what you think the prediction of the AAC will be this year.
Gosh, every team. I'll go top 5.
Go top 5, whatever. Sissy.
I don't even know who all the teams are anymore at this point. Let me look them up.
I can
All
read them
right,
to you,
one
but it would be
one
in my
is
order.
one's going to be Tulane. Coaches voting.
Okay.
This is by it's Coaches and Media, right? Tulane. 2, I will say UTSA.
TJ disagrees with that.
Oh, I know he does.
I think they're good. The problem is their schedule is brutal.
Which is weird. You've been against UTSA all this time, and now all of a sudden you're like, so UTSA.
No, it's the other way around. I've been super for them, and now I'm against them because I didn't know their schedule was so bad. Like I looked at it and I was like, well, this team is extremely talented. They're gonna have,
I mean, what, they play Houston at Tennessee, right? Like,
yeah, all their away games are hard,
yeah. I mean,
and all their
it's-
home games are like rice.
All right, it's going to be Tulane, UTSA, SMU, because people are obsessed with the transfer portal. Us.
Okay,
Although do first place votes move you up higher? We may be third because I know we have one guaranteed first place vote. Shout out to B Moss over.
Well, B Moss is in Dallas right now,
friend of the program.
and he has been in our Discord, and he dropped a nugget in the Discord. I want to get y'all's reaction. One media member, and he's trying to find out who it was, voted UAB number 1 in the conference this year.
Stop.
Is there a different UAB?
The Blazers in first year of old Dilfer down there.
Well, not even just that. They're not even that good.
He would be coach of the year.
Is Bill Clark
No.
still coaching it?
No.
And Dilfer is just
Maybe
there in
that's what-
image?
Maybe that's what happened. You know, Parrish always does the poll attack. Wasn't it Parrish that would do the poll attacks? I feel like that's what this is. Whoever submitted that did not know that Trent Dilfer was there and thought Bill Clark was still there. And
But you heard Trent Dilfer on ESPN, right?
Yeah, dweeb. I want UAB. I want to be here in Birmingham. I live in downtown Birmingham.
and didn't he like
I
dare
dare you.
Yeah.
I dare any of you Power 5 schools to come and get my roster if I find out.
You know, Hugh Freeze dared people to report him about any findings they had, and that did not work out too
Did
well.
not end well, brother.
Well, yeah, I mean, now he's at Auburn making a lot of money.
Also, one of those things.
Although
like,
I was told this weekend by someone in the know that he's been playing a hell of a lot of golf down there in Auburn. If you're an Auburn fan, that wouldn't sit well with me.
I would just rather him stay off his cell phones. Play golf.
Well,
Stay off your cell phones.
That's true.
to match you.
That was only 4.
Oh, you didn't say the 5th?
Yep. 5. I'm gonna go North Texas. 6 East Carolina, 7 FAU, 8. I'll take Temple, Tulsa 9, UAB 10, Navy 11, Rice 12. Have I said East Carolina?
No.
What about Charlotte?
Shite. Charlotte's last.
Charlotte's 100% last. That's a 3-win team.
Tyler Murray might say different.
Tyler Murray, he left there for a reason.
East Carolina's somewhere in the 8, 9.
You're about on par.
South Florida's next to last, right in front of Charlotte.
All right, we
Is that
differ.
all of them?
We differ there. I think so. Did you say Navy?
I put them at like 11.
11th.
Okay. So we have a lot that are similar. I have Tulane, UTSA. I think Memphis over SMU. I just think we're a better team. Like
This is not my ranking, by the way, if you're listening. This is what I think the media poll is going to be.
Okay.
That's what you said.
Yeah, it is. And I stick with Tulane, UTSA. I believe the media would probably put SMU over Memphis. I think I would put Memphis over SMU. I think 5 will be FAU because I like what
Old
the
Herm dog.
Herminator's doing down there.
Yeah.
6 UNT. I think that they have something to build off of. It was a close game with us last year, so I'm trying to give them a little something. I like Eric Morris.
Is Grant Gunnell still there?
No, dog. He is at.
No, he ended up at
the Bobcats,
Texas State.
Texas State. Which, this is anytime, and this is my argument. I'm getting off on a tangent here.
No, he's at Sam Houston.
Sam Houston, whatever. It's one of the small schools.
Bearcats.
People talk about SMU's quarterback, Preston Stone, so highly. This dude has thrown like 10 collegiate passes. I know it's more than that, but it's not much more than that. And all they do is sit there and go off and say, well, this dude was incredible in high school. I watched him. He was incredible in high school. He set so many records. As if Grant Gunnell does not exist. We've seen this dude get beat out left and right. He got beat out by Austin Ani. He got beat out by technically Seth.
And people wanted him to be the starter.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand it was maybe just a raw scenario. He got injured. Maybe if he didn't get injured, he would have started and Seth never would have been the guy. Whatever you want to think there.
He straight up got beat out the second year,
He
too.
straight up got beat out the second year.
Did he have a Liz Franck? Is that what? And no, it was like a foot.
It was an Achilles. It wasn't his
was
foot.
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was an Achilles problem.
Oh, well, you can bounce back from Achilles. Never mind.
Some people can. My point is, I don't care how great you were in high school. We've seen Gunnell was like the most like decorated
Oh, yeah. He
Texas
was up there.
quarterback. Like
Yeah.
his stats were like bizarre, like
He
almost
killed it,
made up.
but he killed it at Arizona too, though.
No.
Killed strong.
No, he was the starter his freshman year, right?
What does that mean? Arizona's garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
But they're about to be in the Big 12, so cool.
That has nothing to do with how good they are at football. Look at this. Grant Gunnell, Arizona stats. Look it up while I do this because I don't want to sit here and Google while
he was pretty average.
okay at best.
Yeah.
And the only reason you say that is because he was a freshman.
Okay, you were going on about Preston Stone.
So I think it's people say the same thing about Preston Stone. Like, oh, he was incredible in high school, so he's going to be incredible now. I've seen it, whatever. I'm sure he's going to be fine. I'm sure he's going to be good. I don't think he'll be better than Tanner Mordecai, and I don't even think Tanner Mordecai, if he were still there, I'm not sure I would put him.
He was fine.
Mordecai?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put him over Seth.
Yeah.
I was high on Mordecai, and I still don't know. Like this year, I think Seth has more to work with, and I have faith that the offensive line's going to be a little bit better. So I would have put Seth over Mordecai this year. I think that they have nailed the quarterback situation in the American right now, and Seth getting kind of pushed down to third team sounds disrespectful at times, but it's also because you have a guy who throws 70% completion rating in Harris. And then you have stupid Michael Pratt, who I don't think is that great, but he runs it, so he gets all these damn bonus points, and that plays a part into it. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He was surrounded by an incredible cast last year, but
He's a good college quarterback.
he's a good college quarterback.
Better
So-
than we've given him credit for.
Yes. So UNT 6, all that to say UNT 6, ECU 7. I think Temple is going to be higher because people are high on EJ Warner.
Weird.
EJ Warner, people are high on EJ Warner. At 8, I think UAB gets a little bit more love than we originally believed they would. But I'm going to say USF at 9 because they have a quarterback who's good. They have all the talent around them. They just can't seem to pull it in. And I have a lot of faith in Golish. UAB, Navy, Tulsa, Rice, Charlotte to finish it out.
We're not that far off.
No, there was a lot of similarities there.
And you came in prepped with that. You made me do it on the spot.
That is true. I did type this up while we were talking a minute ago.
I will say the football Twitter account tweeted out, you see this graphic of all these little quick hitter stats.
I didn't. I saw.
I mean, we've talked
retweeted.
about this
That's about
before,
it.
but one of only 9 teams in the country with 9 straight bowl game appearances. Your Tigers, Mississippi State, Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma State, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma. The only G5 in the country.
Look,
A lot of big names in that list.
it's impressive.
And I get it. People don't care about toilet bowls. But the reality is, in the American, every bowl's a toilet bowl except for the New Year's 6. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything. I mean, we can't do anything about our bowl tie-ins. 78 wins. That's 14th most in the entire nation since 2014. And we're one of only 4 teams in the country with 50 or more home wins since 2014.
It's impressive.
Us with 51. Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State are the 3 others.
You know what makes that stat kind of hurt?
What?
What were we at home last year? Do you recall?
I think how many games we played last year? 6, I think.
7 at home.
7, 5 and 2.
5 and 2.
Yeah.
You lost 2 home games last year, and that is so wild to say, especially since one of them you had on absolute lockdown.
And arguably, you really had a great opportunity to win the Central Florida game. You turned the ball over twice in the red, inside the 10.
Yeah, that one just felt dirty from the beginning.
It was dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the year before that, you lost to UTSA.
UTSA.
You lost more than 1.
You lost 2 at home, I think, that year as well. So it's like, whatever. We can sit here and hash out on how the team is going the opposite direction over and over and over again. They were 5 and 2 that year as well. You lost UTSA, and then you lost ECU. That's right. Freaking Holt Nailers on 3rd down.
Dookie
The entire
Brown,
game.
and that awful.
I'm not going to say it
Three-point
was
conversion
awful.
play.
I'm not going to say it was awful. It's only awful because it didn't work. That's how that works.
Okay.
It shouldn't have come down to that. So, yeah, you were, 8th in the American last year?
Oh,
Isn't that disgusting
that makes
to
me
think
want
about?
to throw this coffee stout right up.
4 consecutive losses in a row for a bit. I think that's the first time since 4 consecutive losses. This is probably the first time since Fuente.
I think it was 2013.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
13 or 12.
Yeah, 13. Because all of our statistical
Well-
records start in 14.
Is that because of the American, though?
No, the American started in 13.
Was it 13?
But the American with Navy started in 14. So maybe that's
The
what they're
American, what
doing.
we know as today.
Yeah. Well,
As
what we
of
did
last
know.
year. Yeah. I mean, not a chance in hell the Tigers finish in 8th in the American this year. There's just no way, dude. You're too talented.
Are you?
Yes, you're too talented.
Because Pro Football Focus put out their first team all conference AAC,
Shut the front door, dude.
and the Tigers didn't have a single offensive or defensive player on the first team. You know who did? Rice did.
UTSA had 74 players.
UTSA's entire starting lineup on both sides of the football were listed.
Yeah, I think they're going to regret that one. I do. Maybe not regret it, but midway through the season when UTSA is 5 and 4, it's obviously more than halfway.
Wow.
Dude, their schedule is brutal. It's not looking good. It's not going to be that bad. They'll, what were they, a 10-win team last year? They'll probably be very well could be an 8-win team this year, and that's just because the home games are kind of easy for them. But to have 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, you're telling me we don't have one offensive and defensive person.
6 yeah, it's a little bananas. I'm not going to lie. If you go to PFF's website, they actually put Joe Doyle on there as first team punter, so that's good for us. Because if he were here,
That would be sick.
he would probably be the best punter. I would agree with that. He was pretty incredible. I did find it surprising when looking at this that Tulane only had one player on offense and defense.
Well, they lost a lot, right?
They did, but this is still a team that is expected to compete, if not win, the conference. And you're telling me they only have 2 of the best players in the conference? Meanwhile, UTSA has 7 or 6, whatever the number was, and they're not projected to win. Maybe someone out there absolutely has them projected to win, but a little shocking to me. And I think the fact that Memphis doesn't have anyone listed on the first team is more so the amount of turnover you had at a lot of positions, and the fact that where Memphis is most skilled happens to be the most skilled position in the conference, and that's at quarterback, right? We already talked about Frank Harris being QB1 for the American. What's Dingus and Tulane? Why can't
Pratt
they-
2,
Pratt is 2, Seth
Seth
3.
3.
Right. So I get it. I don't know if I could make an argument for anyone, if I could reasonably make an argument for anyone to be first team on offense or defense. Maybe defense. I think Cormonte could probably have an argument to be made. I would have to go look back at who else they have. That guy from North Texas is pretty damn good. I think Cormonte has secretly had a really good season last year, that I think that he could have a chance to be on there.
You think Jeff could be on there? Lil Putang?
No, I don't think Jeff could be on there, only due to the fact that
Poutine.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
not Poutine.
I
Cut that.
I don't think Jeff could be on there because he just didn't have a ton of time. What is happening here?
It's 11:15 at night. That's what's happened.
He just didn't have a lot, right?
Give me a coffee stout. I don't know what to tell you.
That's fair. No, I think Cormonte
Drinking diesel water all week.
had 46 tackles, which doesn't sound like a lot. First year in this system, but 6 tackles for a loss, 4.5 sacks. I mean, 1 forced fumble.
I think there's an argument. It's just a lack of. It's 1 year.
Sure. I think that's exactly what it is. And that's kind of my whole thing is I don't think you realistically could put a ton of Memphis guys on there because you have essentially 3 new wide receivers outside of Skates. Skates is back.
Skates cannot be on.
I understand. But that my point is, like, if you're trying to think about Memphis' skill positions, Skates is your most experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
Between he and Rock, I think Skates probably has more snaps under his belt. You know, big play guy. Didn't catch it a ton, but every time he did, he was going yard for it. And Demir, I could see you looking at Demir's stats and be like, oh, maybe, but you don't know how that connection is on a new team. What's his role?
Coming from Toledo, it's hard to throw him on a new conference, all conference team.
I thought so too until I saw this list full of damn UTSA and UAB people. They seem to think they can do it, but whatever. And then you go to the defensive side. Like maybe I could see someone try to make the argument for Jalen Allen. I don't know. There's not enough sacks there for me.
Does
for a guy
bring
whose
me
one job is
so
sack master.
They did post a second team all conference, and there are 2 Tigers on the second team, but they're both offensive, and Davion Carter and Blake Watson. Still no defensive Tigers on even a second team PFF all conference team.
Yeah, I definitely thought. Obviously, I just made an argument for Quante on the first team, so
Right.
I think that second team should have been understood. But again, I'd have to go back and look at whoever Nick Booker Brown is on the D line, whatever that, you know. Those are also interior D line guys. Whatever. They do it in a weird manner. That probably didn't help. It's kind of like on NBA All-Star teams where you get like 4 guards and a center type of situation.
Yeah.
Like other people are kind of getting thrown off. So maybe a situation like that, but whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I think that Memphis is going to be a pretty dang good team this year, especially defensively. I think they have a chance to be really good. They have a lot of experience there. They have a couple of transfers that I think could make splashes kind of early. And a lot of guys who've played serious snaps. I think Barnes is the real deal. I would actually, depending on how this year goes, I could see Barnes potentially making his way out of here to a new job, and whatever happens with that. But I mean, I think he's a good D coordinator.
You and Gabe, before this recording, Gabe was high on the defense too. I think he said top 3 in conference.
I don't know how to do that because I don't necessarily know what UTSA is. They seem to think UTSA is going to allow 10 total points all year long here, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't be, right? The amount of talent that you are returning. You have a lot of seniors on that defense right now. If you believe, if you kind of look at it in terms of who you think is going to start, right? Kind of like the easy guys to pencil in. Like, I don't think anyone's question if Jalen Allen will be back, but I think he's an easy projection to start there. What you do on the defensive line to replace big guy who's in Florida right now, going blank on his name.
What?
The big guy who was the defensive tackle that's now in Florida.
Oh, the transfer? Gosh, now you made me blank.
I know, sorry. You got to replace him. And granted, his stats weren't really that impressive, but he was taking up 2 bodies the entire time. So that's a big presence you're going to have to take up. And the Ellison is coming in. You have
Cameron.
Cameron.
Forget he was pretty forgettable.
He was. Statistically, yes. But he was taking on 2 guys. That's kind of his role. It's not to make a ton of tackles. It's to make 2 guys touch you.
Yeah.
So Josh Ellison coming in.
I think that I want that role.
Trench baby coming in on the D line. There's a lot of guys that I think can make a big move. Jalen Joyner coming off the edge, probably going to be the one spelling Jalen Allen. Chandler Martin, both Blake and I have talked about him this week on Twitter.
Yeah, Blake posted that, got me excited. Kid can tackle. It's what we've missed
Yes.
these last couple of years is some surefire tackling.
Yeah. Looks like a good tackler, plays really well in space, very speedy. I think at the linebacker position, the question is how is that going to translate coming up a level?
Yeah.
Essentially, right? If you watch his highlights, he's mostly just eating up UT chat. And I'm like, it's not really telling me much, but like you can see that the instincts are there, blowing up screens, reading plays perfectly, things like that. So it gives me hope. We've heard a lot of good things about Simeon Blair. We'll see how it all works out, right?
We've seen some from the spring, but man, PFF does not like Simeon.
That's fine. Let him sleep, dude. I have
Let
no
him sleep and
I
let
have no
Simeon
problem.
eat. Put that on a shirt.
We can if we want. I have no problem letting I don't get that butthurt when I see no Memphis Tigers listed on this. Up basically, yes, Davion.
You tweeted bulletin board material. What are you talking about?
That's fine. I think it could be. I think you have a complete argument to be made for some of these guys. They have an absolute argument to be made, especially if you look at some of the stats. You're like, this dude's never even played for this team. You just think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
A lot of these players have never even played in the American, and here we are saying that they're going to be the best player at that position. I don't think so. Maybe some of them, but like, whatever.
And we'll see what the actual American preseason all-conference teams are.
I think we'll see a couple more Tigers moved in.
Hopefully. That'll make us feel better.
I think it's weird Blake Watson's so high on there.
Because you don't even think he's going to be the starter.
I don't think he'll be the starter. I think he's going to have a good year.
So do you think Ducker should have been on there?
No. Because
a little too slow.
no, I just don't think they're going to. You have 2 guys splitting 1,000 carries. Whatever the numbers.
Yeah,
Gonna be.
2 guys touching.
You're not even 2 guys. It's probably going to be 4 guys. So we've seen how they do this. Running back by committee.
I hope that is not the case.
After telling us it's not going to be running back by committee, and it's always running back by committee. It's so hard to put a Memphis running back there now. Go back and look at the year that Kenny was incredible. I mean, you had Kenny and Patrick Taylor both back there. Have you ever looked at this? Like the
Oh, yeah.
the difference in carries?
Oh, I haven't looked at the difference in carries.
Just what percent do you think went to Kenny versus Patrick?
Well, I mean, Patrick
was hurt
Yeah, he
all
got
year.
hurt.
Okay, name another running back on the roster. Doesn't matter.
Wasn't Drake on the roster then?
Technically, I think he was, yeah.
Well, then Antonio started getting carries.
Antonio got carries.
Yeah. So
It was Kenny though.
But yeah, I mean, it was once Patrick got hurt, it was Kenny's backfield.
yeah. So Patrick didn't touch it not even 100 times.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
He
next
got
guy
hurt in the Ole Miss game.
I understand, guys. And the next time was 62 at Kylan Watkins. The next was 33 at Antonio Gibson. You could add all these dudes up, and they still don't touch Kenny at 231. So it hasn't been until 2019 that we've had a guy touch it that many times. Like, that's bananas. It's just been running back by committee, by committee, by committee the entire time.
Man, I forgot about Kylan Watkins. That guy was really good.
I think he's a firefighter now.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to the firefighters. Yeah, Drake. If Drake didn't hit it in 2020, after that like first 4 games where he came out touching it like 30 times a game, like he was only at 136. So like I don't know if you're ever gonna have a guy get close to 200 some odd carries again.
231's a lot.
That's a lot of carries. I'd trace it back to D'Angelo and say how many he got in a season. It's gonna be more than that probably.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's got like 30
Sheesh.
carries a game, I believe. But
Goodness gracious. All right, we're about to get into talking about all conference teams, about to start getting into preseason watch list stuff. You know, you and I got riled up last year because there were 3 American quarterbacks listed out of the 1,000 players for the Maxwell Award. And Seth wasn't listed. Do you think he is listed this year as a junior on the Maxwell watch list?
yeah, I think that one. I mean, they give it out.
If you follow the same protocol, they got 3 American QBs. I think it's got to be Frank, Pratt, and
It's the same
Hennigan.
3 we keep talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, there's just no way he's not listed. They literally, it's a watch list. They put out 300 names.
Yeah.
Like if you're a quarterback with a heartbeat in D1, they're like, you know what? Throw him out there. We'll see what happens.
Except for last year.
Except for last year, jerks.
Outside the Maxwell, what else are you looking out for? You think we get anybody else on any awards?
Yeah, I think August 1st is the Outland Trophy.
Okay. Interior line.
Interior line. I think Jacob Likes will get a nod there. I mean, he's a senior.
What about old Davion?
It's possible.
I think he was our highest rated interior lineman. Lineman overall last year.
I mean, he was second team per PFF.
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason he shouldn't get some type of nod. It gets tricky. Like, we're not saying they're going to win or even be finalists, but to be on the watch list itself, somewhat relative because it's showing that you are, you know, I made the joke that you have to have a heartbeat to be on
You're
the list.
productive at your position.
Obviously, you have to be relatively skilled at your position to be on there. So I think Likes obviously gets a nod for the Outland Trophy. Davian Carter very well could. He had a very good year last year. There were some ups and downs, but obviously had a really good year. Davey O'Brien, which is success both on and off the field. I think Seth could get that one. Not really everyone's favorite because it's not really football centric, but he does a lot of work with, oh goodness, what's the blood donation? Vitalant, I think is what it is.
I don't know. I was going to say lifeblood.
It's essentially like lifeblood. It's a
My parents' lifeblood once a month. Is it once a month?
that's
All growing.
weird.
Okay, whatever. They did it frequently. I mean, my dad had like a 23-gallon donor sticker on his car.
That's a lot of blood.
I don't
dude.
think they don't do it anymore, but they donate a lot of blood. We spent many a Saturday. You get snacks. That was the best part. I didn't have to give blood.
You get
but
money for it? A T-shirt, something?
I don't know. I mean, they got a sticker.
I don't want a sticker.
And-
I hate needles. Hate needles.
Anyway,
So if you're telling me I'm gonna have to, I get a sticker, not a chance. But no, he does a lot of work with Vitalant, which is a blood donation company. So I could see him getting on there.
I can see Jalen Allen getting on that list.
What's Jalen do?
Jalen works with a lot of nonprofits here in the city.
Really?
A lot of them. Yeah.
Oh, the more you know. I don't even know if they do a watch list for that one. I imagine they would. Right?
you need a nominee, something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's like towards the end of the year they do a little more with it. But
Sure.
you're definitely going to get some Tigers out there. I'm trying to think. What
What about, you don't think old Watkins or Ducker get on the Doak Walker?
No, it's the same argument again. Not enough carries for one specific guy. You know, if it was one guy getting 90% of the carries, yeah, for sure. Because I expect Ryan to run the ball, as we've seen it every year now, right?
Whether it works or not.
Whether it works or not, he's going to do it. I mean, what's that? 493 rush per. Yeah, we had 493 rushes last year as a team. 416 the year before that. So 400 carries, you get 90% of that to one guy. Yeah, I think he's going to be on a watch list somewhere.
Even just 50% of that.
Right? I think we just talked about it. We were sitting there talking about
Yeah.
Kenny getting 280,
Yeah.
whatever it was. So, unfortunately, they're just splitting that up too much, man. But good year. I think we'll learn some stuff. I don't think we will directly have anyone there. Brian Moss, friend of the program, Kenny talked about it. He'll be there. He'll have some stuff going out. I'm going to try to virtually drop in if I can. We'll see how that works
Blake
out.
Mayfield will be covering it all day
Oh,
for
sweet.
BCM as well.
Sweet. Yeah, Blake will have good stuff going for that. That's good. Nice. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a good season.
I'm just ready for football, man.
Yeah, I honestly at this point, who we play first? What's the
Bethune-Cookman.
I could not remember their name.
With good old Ed Reed. Wait,
Nope.
No,
dadgummit.
nope. I think he wanted some money. Just donate some money to the school or something. I can't remember what it was.
He wanted to be paid
Yeah.
to do
I mean,
his
he
job.
just wanted some investment in the program, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was investment in the program. But if they weren't paying him, yeah, that's a good reason to not take the job personally. No, I'm excited for that game. You should win it 70-0, like we're playing UConn back in the day. But
I just don't know that they will do that.
yeah, you got to win with class sometimes. But
Never.
I'm excited about that.
I just can't wait. We're in a dead period.
Give me
I mean,
something, dude. I've got the itch.
The Open just ended yesterday. I mean, it's gonna be a drag these last 5 weeks. Hard Knocks will carry me over. It's a couple weeks. Anything else football, Teach?
I don't think so, man.
No movement in conference realignment. With the Pac-12 media days, they did not announce a TV deal. Although,
Freaking liars.
what?
They're full of it, dude.
TJ is adamant that Colorado's a lock. for
I am.
Pac-12.
The Pac-12 just constantly sits there and talks about,
Hey, they seem to be. He's come out. He said they're sticking together. We'll see what happens.
what are you supposed to say in that situation?
I don't know. I'm scared shitless. My conference is blowing up.
Yeah, how do you think that's going to be portrayed? You can't say that. You're going to come out and say that.
He's an honest man.
My teams have no intentions of leaving. We feel really good. We're going to stick this out because the moment you say, we may have some guys leave, the one person.
What
that
is
you have-
Colorado waiting for?
probably just to do. I don't think anyone wants to leave the Pac-12. Let's just clear the air there. I don't think any teams want to leave. But if you're sitting there telling me,
You think they're just going to stick together until the Big Ten's ready to start plucking again?
no, I don't think the Big Ten would ever go to Colorado. Why would they go to Colorado?
I'm not saying Colorado. I just meant the Pac-12.
No, I think that part's true. I think you definitely have that. I think that Colorado's probably just hanging out to see what the Pac-12 gets financially.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
I still think they're gone.
We'll see. What, you think it's Colorado and UConn? TJ, the biggest football guy on the face of the planet is all about this basketball realignment stuff. now.
No,
It's-
I think
you are.
I think you just greatly discredit what UConn basketball means to this whole thing. If your whole idea is that, yes, football.
I'm not doubting that UConn basketball is
What matters the
very
most?
good.
Let me ask this: what matters the most in the realignment? If you could put weight to something,
What do you mean? Football
you think the just football,
drives the
Winning?
payout and the numbers, the viewers of football.
okay? So that market, the Hartford market of UConn, has 1 million people in it.
They're not pulling in UConn football. The rest of the Big 12 is not going to agree to share an equal share with UConn football.
No one's saying share an equal share. They don't.
to share anything.
The Big Ten doesn't share an equal share with Rutgers or Maryland because they literally said Rutgers and Maryland came in saying, we understand we are less than. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to take less money
now
just
you're
to
making
be
this
at
about
the
UConn
table.
football.
No, UConn is being mentioned because of their market.
If you mention the Nielsen ratings, I'm flipping this table.
If they get a sweetener because their basketball program is incredible. Your market said, I want basketball to matter in this. And I think if you're saying
Your mark
we
said
want-
a lot.
he has said a lot. If you want big market and you think basketball matters, UConn seems to check your boxes there. That's a bigger market than Memphis. It's a bigger market than Boise. They've already said no to San Diego State. I mean, that's a bigger market than Hartford. So if you're telling me what matters is financials and the market and getting viewership. And I've never heard anyone say winning football does or doesn't matter necessarily. I mean, you have the Big 12 has Kansas. Their football has been atrocious for years. They had one good year.
Yeah, game day this year.
Yeah, and I think they won 6 games this year or something like that.
And they were like, I think they were 5-0 in that game day.
Yes, and then they went on to win one game after that. Yeah. So I don't think football really matters. If you're telling me they could have another Kansas, they would love that. I know it doesn't help in the football aspect of things, but how many, we talked about this. I cannot remember the word that you get for March Madness games.
What?
When you're in March Madness games, you get payments. I can't think.
Yeah, just
I can't think of what they're called. There's a specific name for it. You have Kansas and you have UConn, and then you sprinkle somewhere in there. Baylor's probably going to be pretty good. Sprinkle in there Oklahoma State maybe one day again. West Virginia was a tournament team. Like I see pros to adding UConn. It's not sexy from the football side of things. But if you're sitting there telling me that I can replicate Kansas bringing in national championships on the basketball side, I'm adding 1 million people of viewerships.
I think it really just, it's going to come down to that. Do the networks think that UConn, from a football standpoint in that market, bring in enough eyeballs, or does basketball matter and bring in the revenue that
A great question.
makes it make sense?
When it's all said and done, right? I think that's what it comes down to is if you care.
The other part of that,
little
though,
bit
is a
about
two-way
basketball at all.
street. I mean, does UConn want that?
Sure. It's a great
We've
question.
We've seen things talking about, does UConn really want to leave the Big East?
I don't know that they should, but
I don't either.
whatever. I don't know.
Anyway, let's get to this Memphis' truck because it is late as truck.
It is latest truck. We hate Memphis made cans consistently. This one's not that bad. I don't know. The color scheme works for me. It's gold, white, like a grizz blue, not like the baby blue, but the other color.
Such a mad can. Six flat. I think that's what I did the last one.
I'll go a little bit higher, like 6'3". I just like
Higher?
the color
For
scheme.
what?
I just like the
Colors?
color scheme, honestly. The beer's weird just because it's a stout and it's got a little bit of coffee twang on it.
I actually liked it. Kenny, I know I made a bad face, and you guys watching on YouTube, I did make a bad face, but it grew on me.
What's the other coffee stout in Memphis?
What?
There's another coffee.
Gotta get up to get down?
Yeah, I like this better than that.
It's been a while since I've had a got up to get down, but I remember really liking gotta get up to get down.
I had it probably a month ago at Wiseacre on like a 98-degree day.
Off the tap. Stop.
Well, it was only because everyone was like, I love gotta get up to get down. And I tried it and I was like, bleh. Like it was too hot. I think I could probably drink this outside. I think I like this better.
Yeah, I mean, it was good.
I don't know how often you're drinking coffee stouts. I don't drink them too often, but like whatever,
I think it's
5.9%.
like a good dessert one.
It's thick looking, bro.
It is thick. It does look like motor oil.
Yeah, it's a
Like
little
Pennzoil in
questionable
this thing.
there. In terms of a grade, like
It surprised me. If I had rated it immediately, it had been about a 3.2. But I enjoyed it as I went through, and it wasn't painful to drink by any means. I'm going to go like for a coffee stout.
dibs on 6.8. Can't say it.
Oh
Can't say it. 6.8. This is
I was-
6.8 for me.
I was going to say 6.9.
Nice. Yeah, 6.8 for me. I think it's good. I just don't want to overhype it because I was happier with it than when I thought. it was gonna be.
Crushability score is very low. I mean, this is a one brew kind of thing.
I'm not saying it's like drinking
This is like
gravy.
I'm going to.
but It's like drinking gravy. It's a bit.
I mean, I
thick.
would drink gravy. You don't like gravy?
No.
I think we've talked about this. You're not a gravy guy, which is so. Kenny, does he not look like a gravy guy?
gravy guy to you, Kenny.
Look at them gun. That gun. The guns do not tell me gravy. No.
I just don't like gravy. I don't know. It's not good to me.
That's weird. I don't even remember. I was gonna say, I would not buy this in multiples, but if I was going to Kroger, like build your own 6-pack, I'd throw one.
That's a good.
I think that's what this beer is. It's like a hey variety pack, grab you one.
I think it's a perfect way to explain it. I would love for Kenny to try this one. We should have saved him one.
We'll make him a build a pack. We'll right now we're starting with this and Andy's Mint, and we'll continue to build on it throughout the year.
The most obscure pack ever. Just a random assortment of beers.
It'll be good.
Kenny, not the beer guy, so we're gonna give him.
I'll try it.
Some of the weirdest beers.
That'll be our
possible.
end of the calendar year bonus for you.
All right. Anything else, Trey? We good here?
I think we're good. Let's
It is 2:04 a.m. right now.
let's call it a night, and we'll be back next week. Come with the cold beer, Teafale Hot Takes.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.